You know, I find it kind of disgusting that I have to talk about this shit again, referring to the shit involving Damon Mills. Do I like this guy? No, I don't. Anyway, wait. A few hours ago, a member of the I Stand with Vic Mignogna Facebook page, Ronan Jha, posted this from a Twitter account called Anon Victims or Anonymous Victims. I'll read through this piece by piece. And this came in just last Thursday. Quote, firstly, I have no desire to be interviewed, my identity be revealed, or elaborate further. I've every witnessed what will happen. I've already witnessed what will happen to when someone comes out against these people. I'm going to post my experiences, never log back in or answer any questions. Two, whatever is believed or is not believed, leave this up to you. With all the controversy surrounding Damon Mills, I feel like it's the right thing to do and perhaps may give others the courage to share their stories. I was a volunteer for a convention in 2019. Before that, I never met or knew anything. Think whoever this is meant to say I never met or knew anything about Damon Mills. I was 19. It was my second year of volunteering. I carried chairs and set them up, helped set up the tables, form lines, carry the equipment, and standard tasks volunteers do. When I first met Mr. Mills, I was helping set up a panel and tables for autographs. I didn't realize that during that, Mr. Mills was a voice actor. I was having him hand me things. When we were close to completing setup, we began talking and expressed his appreciation for my help. That's when, now unfortunately, some of this is cut off. You'll have to go for the rest of the Twitter feed for this, so forgive me. When I realized he was a voice actor, I was very embarrassed. I guess he could tell, oh, but he joked about it, made me feel a bit better for being so aloof. I really liked him. He seemed like an outgoing, likable, friendly person. He had a magnetic personality. Every time he see me after that, he would yell my name out affectionately and call me over. Joke about me making him my assistant or just talk to me. After his signing session, he came to me, thanked me again, and told me he wanted to find a way to thank me for doing all these errands for him. Then he started talking over, joke. Oh, he over, joke about me. Oh, no, here we go. Then he started talking about Hawaii, how lonely it was, how since he became a voice actor, it was hard to make friends. Then asked how old I was and other semi personal questions. It was at that time I began getting the feeling he was hitting on me and that there was a motive for his overly nice attitude. But I didn't know him and I didn't want to make the wrong assumption and offend or hurt his feelings by saying I was straight. Perhaps that was just his personality. Same next day started by him acting the same, except when he began leaning against me and getting in my face, making the wrong assumption, and, and offended or hurt his feelings by saying I was. Oh wait, except he began by leaning against me and getting in my personal space, suggesting how I should style my hair. He then told me he thought of a way to thank me, and after he was done with this session, I helped him carry some things back to his motel room. The way he said it and looked at me made it obvious he was inferring. Not wanting to offend him or embarrass him, I told him I'd be happy to help him. But no thanks were necessary. Being able to be useful to him and getting to hang out with him made this con amazing. After several minutes, I casually mentioned that my fiance was coming to the con when her shift ended. The moment I said this, his demeanor changed. He said, okay, then never spoke another word to me. Acted as if I was invisible. Like I didn't exist. Acted very cold. I just thought with all the controversy going on with him, this may be relevant. I know my story may seem tame, but it was a really hurtful experience. I lost my love for conventions. I just hope they realize this kind of behavior is unacceptable, then takes the steps to better himself. End quote. End quote. Sorry, I had to repeat a few lines. It's just that this thing is so it was kind of fractured. Plus, it's a 12 tweet page. It's a 12 It's 12 tweets long. 11 to 12 tweets long. So tell me, does that really sound like someone who wants to change and turn a new leaf? Doesn't sound like it to me. And for those wondering, it was right here on my iPad in my hand. I was reading this off of. Now, given how this individual does not want to give their name, I will both credit and condescend. Credit that they were willing to come forward and tell this story about Damon, but condescend that they didn't have the courage to name themselves. While I understand why they didn't name themselves, you still took the coward's way out in not revealing your identity to expose Damon for the sycophant that he is. Now, if he tried to hit on me like that, now I know he'll go. It seems that the pattern Damon follows is he falls for young boys he tries to groom. Anyone under the age of around 20 or 25 years old. If these last two allegation stories against him are anything to follow up on. I'm no detective, but I'm seeing a pattern here. I mean, I'm no psychologist, nor am I a detective, but I am seeing a pattern here with this guy. It seems he likes to hit on anyone with a any boy with a Y chromosome that's under the age of 20 at minimum. Now, thankfully, he's not going to hit on me. I'm 34 going on 35. And even if he did try to hit on me, that son of a bitch would get a fist in his face. And I would put a restraining order out if my youngest nephew Judah crossed paths with him. And for those wondering, my youngest nephew, he's 17. And this is also if I brought his older brothers with me to a con that he happens to show up at. I'd slug him in the face for it. You hear me, Damon? You're not getting anywhere near my nephew, my youngest nephew. Because it's quite obvious you're not getting anywhere near me because I'm too old for your fucked up appetite. But tell me, 3 years ago, Vic Mignogna got accused of straight pedophilia, yeah, sex pestulization, and harassment. And everyone jumped on board the bandwagon from a hit piece. And he got fired. Now, almost 3.5 years later, two legit victims come out with evidence against Damon Mills. And both of them minors, I might want to point out, are borderline, and one of them was a minor, I might want to point out. If I'm following Damon's pattern of who he tries to hit on is accurate, I'm asking every parent that has a kid under the age who still have their kids under the age of 20 living with them, whether they've gotten out of high school or not, go to the convention with your kid when this sycophant son of a bitch is somewhere lying around. And I'm referring to anyone who has sons, because he'll leave the daughters alone because he's gay. Because this version, this third VA for Lord Frieza, he's a far cry from either Linda Young or the late great Chris Ayers in terms of moral compass. This guy is nothing but a serial rapist. Nothing more and nothing less. And that is the truth. And any of these high school boys I within this age range that go to the cons he pops up at that I mentioned, say you're either taken, say that you're taken. And I'm saying this to those on both ends of the tracks. I really mean it. To any under 20, under age 20 boy that meets Damon Mills and he tries to hit on you, and again, I'm saying this to those on both sides of the tracks, the straight and the LGBTQ plus. Say you're taken. Because you tell them you're single, you can kiss your butts goodbye. As far as I'm concerned, saying you're taken is the only way to get them off your back. Because I think that's the only way we're going to bring this sycophant down. I stand with Vic now, then, and forever. Leave a comment, smash the like, sub to the channel. Till next time, this is Mex2128 signing out. Goodbye, good night, bang. To any boy under the age of 20 that ever goes to a convention that Mills is at, I don't care what side of the orientation tracks you're on, just say that you're taken. You're already claimed.